As the saying goes, it ain't over till it's over. And no team in the NBA embodies this sentiment quite like the subject of today's video. They have been doubted, dismissed, and counted out time and time again. Yet somehow, they always manage to rise to the occasion and prove their detractors wrong. From shocking upsets to epic comebacks, this team has earned a reputation as the ultimate underdog. So sit back and get ready to witness the inspiring story of the NBA's most doubted team. The NBA champion can be predicted using 6 statistics, and this year, just one team meets all 6 criteria. They seem to be locked to win the championship, but there is one squad that nobody is paying attention to, and that ought to frighten everyone. Wins, point difference, 3-point shooting, defense, home road record, and having at least 2 All-Stars are the 6 statistics mentioned above. Even if they have lately looked questionable, the Celtics are still the overwhelming favorites to win this year. The season is still active, by the way. The East is fairly competitive, since the Sixers and Bucks fit all but one of the criteria, while in the West, the best teams are the Nuggets, Grizzlies, and Kings. Yes, historically speaking, Sacramento could have made it to the Western Conference Finals. But what does it mean? That implies that they would have to defeat the Warriors, maybe the Suns, or several other teams that have prominent players. That is not feasible. It's possible, and not simply for statistical reasons. People often overlook the Kings' primary weakness, which is defense, which is understandable. They currently have the league's 26th ranked defense. A group has never achieved such success. The only other teams with such a large disparity between offense and defense were the Spurs twice, and the Nuggets in 1982. They also have the best defense of all time. The Kings are different from the other 2 teams since they were all eliminated in the first round. They were murdered 2 years ago after trading for demonic Sabonis. Why trade Tyrese Halliburton for a guy who can help them win right away? When now does not apply to a 16-year postseason drought. I didn't know if I would make it past the trade deadline, De'Aaron Fox himself said. I fear that I could feel moved. Tyrese made the All-Star squad although we were losing. However, the Kings took 3 actions that made skeptics like me appear foolish. Firstly, Marvin Bagley was traded. He served as a reminder of how awful they have been for a long time. Bagley was selected 2nd overall, ahead of Luka Doncic. Why did the front office act in that manner? Luka's father, who was known to the GM at the time, Vlade Divac, who detested him for his time in Europe. He thus opted to disregard the scouting. He was inherited just like his father and son. Idiot. Josh Jackson and Trey Lyles, who shot over average from 3 and seemed to be unafraid of anybody, were received in exchange for Bagley. Then they bought Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter. Both men are experiencing their finest offensive seasons ever. The Hawks recently handed Kevin Huerter away for free to avoid paying the luxury tax. The new GM's last action was to choose Keegan Murray. The choice was despised by analysts at the time. Nobody I spoke to preferred Murray over Jaden Ivey. Murray is shooting like an NBA veteran, it turns out. Only 11 players had more than 40% of their threes made. Names like Klay and Steph. The Kings will have 2 players in that exclusive club. Demonic Sabonis' ability to play, make, grab rebounds, and score inside, as well as De'Aaron Fox's ability to drive, has been made possible by the new roster's strong shooting. It enabled the Demonic Sabonis to move and elevated their big tandem to the level of All-Star. On the Kings, folks are still sleeping, but I'll explain why folks should quit sleeping on the Kings. By far the finest clutch scorer is De'Aaron Fox, who has 180 clutch points as of late. Jimmy Butler and DeMar DeRozan are in a clear tie for 2nd place.
Anyway,
he was nonetheless selected last in the All-Star draft. Consequently, Bojan Bogdanovic is consistently underappreciated as well, which is odd considering that he's a white man from Europe and I thought they were overrated. However, as a team, they have been on par with the Boston Celtics since January. The one championship need to be left unchecked as defense, but they have a trick under their sleeves that we'll discuss later. However, the undervalued Kings now have a chance to secure the top seed. I realize it seems absurd, but consider this. They were just 4.5 games behind Denver with 14 games remaining. To cover that much land would be difficult. Yes, but the Nuggets are collapsing while the Kings have dominated since January. They recently ended a 4-game losing run and are under considerable pressure to succeed. Jokic is facing criticism for possibly winning 3 MVPs, but according to a rumor, if they get irate, Coach Mike Malone might be fired. The Kings are currently playing carefree. For example, De'Aaron Fox easily pulls up for the game-winning goal the other night in Chicago, while they're playing a hard, tight game. With just a few seconds left, they are aiming for the Sacramento Kings to win the game for ESPN. In third place are the Sacramento Kings. They want to face that team in the first round, a team without experience. That is their ideal case. If you support the Lakers team, your ambition is to somehow defeat the Kings. That shows such disdain. How about the youngster who last summer got a bit thrilled when the Kings won a summer league match? This year, we are expecting 40 victories. He received online criticism that compared him to a clown. The fact that every other club will have doubts about them coming in the playoffs, though, makes Sacramento the favorite to win Game 1 of any series, making it the only factor more perilous than a 1 or 2 seed. The other team will get a punch to the mouth and not anticipate it, but they have a strategy that we seldom ever see in the NBA under their sleeves. The Warriors, Lakers, or Mavericks may provide them with their most challenging first-round foe. Now, it's difficult, but not impossible, to defeat Golden State. The finest starting five in basketball belongs to the Dubs, yet they have the second worst road record. Defense against three-pointers is their major issue. At home, they limit opponents to roughly 32%, while away from home, it's about 41%. This discrepancy, which is by far the worst in the league, favors the Kings. One thing about Sacramento is how versatile their offense is. You cannot just silence one person and put an end to Aaron Fox. Oh, Malik Monk, Keegan Murray, or Kevin Huerter will score for them to win. Oh, but during the postseason, play becomes slower. Yes, it is true, but Aaron Fox is dangerous even in a tight game. The players with the highest ISO ratings this year include KD, Damian Lillard, Luka Kawhi, and Kyrie Irving. All players you would want to take a huge shot in a crucial game. Oh, can you guess whose name is directly above? Aaron Fox, D, who can grab a large ISO bucket in crunch time, may determine the outcome of some of the biggest games. Aaron Fox is that person for this year. Oh, and if they face the Lakers, God forbid LA suffers an injury, since their offense is too unpredictable to match the Kings' scoring pace. They just fell to the Rockets after all. The Mavericks are formidable because Luka improves even more throughout the first season, but they have defensive weaknesses and chemistry problems. As a result, if the Kings win a first-round series, which I believe we can all agree they could, they simply defeated the Grizzlies in the second round, and they go to the Western Conference Finals, where they will face, the Nuggets? Are we certain they won't get irate? Consider how the Warriors' path through the West last year was made simpler in part by the Suns' loss to Dallas as the top seed. Nobody is questioning the Kings right now, and that is a mistake. I'm not here to be making a major prediction or have a hot take about the Kings like Kendrick Perkins. They may have similar reservations about James Harden joining the Houston Rockets again. Even while it seems crazy, after learning what Harden's true strategy would be, it makes some sense. But now, we want to hear from you. Who do you think is the most underrated team in the NBA? Have you ever felt doubted or dismissed in your own life? How did you overcome those obstacles? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.